Hey, how you doing? It is Tom Breeze here from Viewability, and in this video I have an audio podcast for you because I was recently interviewed on the Garlic Marketing Show, and I talked about how to create a winning YouTube ad campaign for your business. So if you carry on watching or listening to this video, you should get a lot of insight into how to start building YouTube ads that turn a profit, and for pretty much any business as well. So keep on listening, make notes, and I'll be asking you to leave comments at the end of the video as well. So please get ready for that as well. All right, carry on listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the podcast.
Welcome to an awesome Garlic Marketing Show. This one's video specific, and I've got the video expert when it comes to YouTube ads. Joining us late in the day for him, Tom Breeze from Viewability. Tom, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's great to be here.
I love talking to you because we both know video, we both know SEO, and you have an SEO background, but now you're in YouTube ads, and you're working on YouTube ads for some of the big names too. So tell me a little bit about your business and who you're working with.
Yeah, okay, cool. So we are obviously called Viewability. The one thing we do is YouTube advertising. So if you're familiar with going to YouTube and you're just about to watch a video and a video pops up in front of it and you've got that pre-roll ad, that's the sort of stuff we do. So basically we annoy the whole of the world, but we do it in a much better way than just how everyone else does it. But the way that we work is to kind of like make sure that we work in a way where we focus on YouTube and ensure that we kind of get much more reach for clients, get a really good return on investment as well. And we actually build the agency in a way where we only get paid on results. So we do all the video creation, we do all the ads ourselves, we fund the ad accounts, and then when we get results for the client, we get paid. That's kind of like we know that the techniques that we're about to share on this podcast is going to be useful for people because it's actually the stuff that works. So that should be cool. But we do it for like Frank Kern, Amy Porterfield, Neil Patel, Brenda Burchard. There's a whole host of the internet marketing type big name sort of thing that we end up running the YouTube ads for. And yeah, we're doing a pretty good job at the moment. So it's good fun.
Awesome. Yeah. And I mean, we've had Neil on, we've had a few of those people on. And, you know, Neil was #1 entrepreneur in the world from Entrepreneur Magazine, #1 marketer. And that's a big kudo that he's using you guys. How did you get into doing YouTube ads?
Good question. So if we kind of rewind back to like the very beginning, when I was like studying as a student when I was much younger, I studied psychology, and I truly believe that that's really the strength of what I'm able to do now with advertising. So I can really put myself in the customer's shoes, understand what they're going through, and therefore know how to like meet that customer with what they want to find out more about. So that was like when I first started anything to do with understanding human psychology. That's really started this whole journey, I suppose. So I did my undergraduate and did a dissertation, and then I went on to do my master's and my thesis. And from there, I actually went to go and work doing my own business, working with people like on a one-to-one basis for performance, but in business. So I'd help people I really focused on public speaking. So how to deliver a really good presentation in a confident way. And that was my first business. And when I first started running that business, I did all the traditional advertising and marketing that we're all familiar with, things like Yellow Pages, for example. And I promoted hard. I spent a lot of money with that sort of promotion and got nothing, not one phone call whatsoever. I was like, okay. I thought this was going to be the easy thing, but getting customers, I realized it was really tough. I knew that what I had was really good, but I didn't get many customers until I got a leaflet through the door from AdWords. And they were like, hey, look, £30, which is about $50 on us. Go and spend it, and if you set up your account, you can have it for free. And I was like, okay, well, it can't hurt. And I remember I ran the first day of advertising and spent the whole budget in one day for £30. And this is back in the good old days. It's like 2007 almost. And I got 2 phone calls and 2 clients from that first day. And each client was worth to me £240, which is about $350 or so. And I was like, wow, £30 or $50 spend and like nearly 600 back. I was like, this is great. And so I did the same thing the next day. And all of a sudden, my business just took off. I was like, wow, I can nail this. This is going really well. And then like it got more and more competitive over the years. As everyone knows, AdWords got more and more competitive. And then the one thing that got me into video was I was working with a mentor who was helping me become a really good speaker. And well, I would like to think that I'm a relatively good speaker. I've lost all those techniques a long time ago. But as you can probably tell by this podcast. But what I ended up doing was working with them, working with my mentor, and he was like, hey, look, why don't you try and have a video on your website? And at that time, no one in the UK especially, some people in the US were doing video, but no one in the UK were doing video. And I was like, okay, sorry, I'll work out how to do it. And I remember I had to go down to my parents to borrow their video camera we used to use for holidays and things. I had like a dictaphone in my pocket that would have like a mic, and oh god, it was a dreadful setup. But I did it. I got the video done. It took me so many takes, and I put the video on the front page of my website. And that took a long time to work out how to do as well in the good old days. And I ran my traffic that was running from AdWords already, and my conversion rate tripled overnight. So it went from 7% to 23%. So 3 times as many people were deciding to contact me to book in a session with me. And all of a sudden I was like, okay, there's something in this video game. And it was enough for me to go heavy into video. I started creating more and more video about how to speak in public. I got loads of views on YouTube, started getting lots of business coming through the door from just natural promotion on YouTube. And I ran a session with like 10, actually probably more than that. I can't remember exactly how many, but it was a session with entrepreneurs on how to speak in public. And all of them were there because they wanted to learn how to do video and speak on video. And so that kind of clicked a light bulb in my head because they all wanted to start having videos on their website. And all of a sudden I went down that route. And then that naturally progressed into creating videos for clients and then doing some SEO, so doing the titles, tags, descriptions. I built the whole agency around that to begin with. And then when the SEO world got tough with things like the Panda and Penguin and Hummingbird updates that screwed up so many websites, and it, lo and behold, it happened with video as well. All of our clients that were paying us a lot of money per month, I started looking at doing some advertising. And I ran some YouTube ads when kind of no one had really done it before. And all of a sudden I was realizing that results we were getting from advertising was so much better than SEO. And I was like, wow, I don't have to pay for all these staff to build everything and run everything. It's just, I just pay Google to run these ads. And I was like, this is easy. This is like much easier. And so at that point I was like, right, I've got some experience in AdWords from my first business. I know how to run AdWords, but now I'm just doing video on AdWords and running those ads on YouTube, and it was just getting really good results for all of our clients. Or I wouldn't say all of them, but the vast majority of them really had a good audience already on YouTube, and we could just find that it was a natural progression for the agency. And so I just decided to say, all right, we're going to spend all of our time just working out how to advertise in the best way on YouTube. And that was quite a few years ago now, but like that's all we do today. Like we haven't taken our focus off that. It's just our essential priority is just getting YouTube ads working for clients, and we're getting pretty good at it.
That's awesome. I love that you're that focused too, because in the agency world, you know, we have our common friend Jason Swank talks about that, and we talk about it all the time. And you know, if someone goes out to hire someone and they're not highly focused and they're like, I do everything, I'm like, we concentrate on video storytelling, and that alone is hard. And we then outsource or work with companies like yourself to do YouTube ads. Because it's just changing so fast, isn't it? I mean, even if you do YouTube ads, it changes every day, right?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't quite change as much as Facebook ads. So when people see all these new things that are coming out with Facebook, it's amazing. And it's a really fast evolving platform. We did do a bit of Facebook advertising because if we're going to create a video with a client, it just made sense to say, well, we can run it on Facebook as well. But we pulled back from that as well because it's just so difficult as an agency to concentrate on more than doing one thing exceptionally well, sort of thing. So we just looked at YouTube and said, you know what, this is our niche. This is what we're really used to. We know the people on YouTube, and we know how people act on YouTube and what they're up to. And we just know how to have a message that resonates with people on YouTube. It's very different to Facebook. And that's why a lot of people that try and migrate across from Facebook to YouTube don't really get it to work very well. And it's because they think that like, oh, I can just run the same ads on Facebook and it should just work on YouTube. It's a very different platform, so it requires a different approach. But yeah, for me, I'm running the agency. I just realized that if we just have a team that just know what they're doing with YouTube ads, and we can build the standard operating procedures, but also know how to be creative with the adverts, it's an easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a simple way of thinking about things because we've just done it for so long.
Yeah, and I think you make a huge point there in the difference in platforms and the difference of usage, right? And understanding that it's not the same thing when you're not telling the same story, you're not doing the same video. It can be similar content, but it has to be rearranged differently, right? What are the big changes that you see when you have to go from Facebook to YouTube as far as content goes?
Yeah, so I see that if you're going onto Facebook as a user, you go to Facebook and you're there because you want to connect with your community and your friends, or if you're there as an entrepreneur, you want to meet your customers there, and you know that your customers are all there, and there's going to be, you can get in front of your customers based on their interests and who they are, and they're kind of like almost like their character traits. So we kind of know their demographics, we know what they're interested in. But when you go to YouTube, you're going there for a reason, you're going there for a purpose, and you have like a level of intent to find out more information. So on YouTube, there's like 50%, it's actually just a little bit more, 53% of people go to YouTube because they want to be inspired. Either they want to follow someone they're really interested in, they want to watch a extreme sports video or surfing video, or maybe a music video of some sort. That's like more a recreational but a passion interest type audience. But the other half of people, like 47% of people that go into YouTube, are going there because they want to either know something, do something, or buy something. And for me, I love getting in front of that type of audience because they're already motivated. So on Facebook, if you're advertising to that audience, first of all, you're getting into their profile, and I find it not frustrating, but I do find that on Facebook, like if I go to a website, all of a sudden I'm bombarding on my Facebook profile newsfeed by those ads of that company, and that's just good advertising from their standpoint. But I feel like it's my profile, it's my home almost. It's where I've set up with my friends, and now you're advertising in my space, sort of thing. Whereas with YouTube, I go to YouTube to find information, and if I see ads that are relevant and useful, because I want to find out more about how to speak in public, for example, and I see an ad that is about how to speak in public, I'm interested. I'm listening to what they have to say, and so the ad it comes up at the right time, and so I can find that a lot more useful as a platform to advertise there, because the users that the people that are going to YouTube are already motivated. They already want to find information, want to know, do, or buy something. And so when you show an ad in front of them, they're much more likely to consume it, as long as it's a good ad. If you go out with like the classic like shopping channel TV type advertising, that's going to annoy everybody. But if you go in with the intent to say, how can I help the user in the best way here, then you'll tend to find that if you get that in front of the right audience, they're going to lap it up and love it, and then want to find out more naturally about your business and what you do.
I love that. And you said a big thing, intention. And YouTube's an intention-based place versus attention, where you have to get someone's attention in Facebook, and you have to divert them away from their grandkids and babies and dogs. YouTube, people are going there with intention. And that's a big distinction I don't think a lot of people make, because they just think video, right? And that's a huge opportunity. How do you sync that up? You say, we figure out the intention. Is it pure, or do you go purely, okay, we know they're looking for this and you're like this person, or do you try and get further ahead?
Okay, so I'll explain it and then I'll wrap it up with a story. I think it will make more sense. So I think in today's day and world, I think that like with digital marketing, we forget that it's still humans online. We think it's just numbers and people there that are just like, oh my God, we can get in front of 5 billion views on YouTube every single day. If you think like that and you think that's the opportunity, you're starting off on the wrong foot, right? It's good that there's lots of people going there, sure, but it's more a case of, is your audience going there? And if we rewound like the time, like in the clock by 30 years, and you had a physical store on a high street or a main street, you would have three different types of customers. You'd have people that are walking past that would stop and look through the window, like window shoppers, because they're interested in what it is you do. Like if you've got products in the window and they stop because they're interested in that, that's the window shopper type of kind of customer you might have. Then if they were really interested and they want to find out more information, they would come in store. And so you'd have your in-store customers. And those people are likely to ask lots of questions about the different products that you have. And your sales representatives will likely kind of like give them a good idea about what product might be right for the customer and just help them and like guide them towards making a sale. And then you have the next level of customer, which is almost like your customer at the checkout. They know your company, they know who you are, they know probably what product they want to buy, and then they're just there at the checkout ready to buy. Maybe they've got a couple of questions, maybe need a bit more assurance before they make a purchase. But there's that sort of customer as well. So you've got your window shoppers, you've got your in-store customers, and you've got your at the checkout customers. Exactly the same audience are online and in digital space. But just because we don't find it easy to target those different types of customers and know how to get in front of them, we feel like, okay, well, we can just put one message out and just advertise to everybody, and hopefully some people are going to like it. That's like TV advertising or radio advertising. And most of the time it's annoying. But with the benefit of YouTube, you can get in front of all different types of audience. So on YouTube, you can get in front of the audience that are the window shoppers. They are showing an interest. They might be watching videos of your competitor, for example, and you can get in front of them. Like on YouTube, if they're showing an interest because they like certain kind of like similar seminars that you might go to, or books and authors, if they like that, then they're likely to be interested in what your product has to offer. So there's that kind of window shoppers that are easy to get in front of on Facebook and also on YouTube. The in-store customers, the people that are searching and doing research and asking questions and watching videos about different products, then those people tend to be easy to target on YouTube, because if they're typing in keywords and watching certain videos, we can show our ads in front of those videos in particular. And therefore, we're really getting in front of them at a time when they are showing a lot of active intent. They're saying, hey, look, I'm very interested in what it is that you guys do, because you know that they're already searching for it. And then you have like the checkout customers, the people that are ready to buy, are either looking for videos online about different types of products. So they're actually like searching for the actual product title, or watching videos about a demo of a certain product or an unboxing video, for example. Or you've got your remarketing traffic. They may have been to your website already. And again, that can be tapped into on Facebook or YouTube. And you can run those sorts of ads to those people that have already gone to your website, maybe signed up for something you've got as a freebie, and you can run ads to those audiences as well. So it's understanding the mindset of your customer, knowing where they are at right now. Like maybe they are window shoppers, maybe they're in-store customers, maybe they're checkout customers. They still exist online, but our message, and it's exactly what you just said a second ago, Ian, is that you need to make sure that if it's a window shopper, we naturally need to grab their attention. So the video has to start with that in mind. If you're on YouTube looking for information on something, you don't necessarily need to be like grabbed attention. Your attention doesn't need to be grabbed. It's already there. Your attention is already looking for something. So we can start the video with straight away like, hey, look, let me give you 3 tips that are really useful for you to solve the problem that you're currently looking for. That just goes straight into content. That's just so much more helpful for the user. Or if they're kind of checking out, if they're kind of like really close to making a purchase, you don't need to necessarily do the whole attention grabbing and the loads of content. You can just say, hey, look, if you're looking to buy this product, let me just show you some different options available to you. And you go straight into more of a sales message at that point, especially if they know who you are already. If they're warm traffic, that's an easy win for a lot of people. And the way that I look at it is like, so just last year in April, I ran the London Marathon, and one of my friends pulled out close to the actual marathon itself, with 12 weeks to go. And it was for charity. It's one of our friends who unfortunately passed away a while ago. But our friends, we had like a WhatsApp group, and they said, hey, look, this guy can't run anymore. Is anyone up for doing it? And stupidly, I said, yeah, I'll do it. Never run a marathon before in my life. Didn't have a clue what to expect. Said I'd do it. And the first thing I did, I went to Google straight away and typed in how to run a marathon. Now, I'd already said I'd do it. And it said, do not attempt to run a marathon. This is the first blog post I read. Do not attempt to run a marathon unless you've got 18 weeks of training, like definitely done, sort of thing. I was like, great, I've got 12 weeks to go. I haven't done any exercise for a long time. And I was like, I need to get myself my act together. And so at that point, I was in a moment, we call it, of like, I need a lot of information and I need a lot of products and I need to kind of get myself ready for this. And I typed in like marathon training plans. That was one of the first thing I typed in. And I started consuming a lot of content. And throughout that whole process, you can imagine I was in the market all of a sudden for running, like marathon running shoes. I would have been interested in lots of different products. I would have been interested if a physio said, hey, look, I can help you. I would have been interested if hotels advertised to me saying on the day before, why don't you stay with us so you get a good night's sleep and you can be at the start line at the right time. All these different people could have advertised to me because I was in the moment of need of wanting to find out all I need to do about the London Marathon. But again, like no one was advertising to me at that point. And that's the thing, is that our customers, your customers, my customers, everyone who's listening to this, your customers are already looking, they're already searching. And it's just understanding where they're at right now, what they're doing, and how can we tap into that with a message that's going to actually resonate with them. So it's like, say, for example, for me, I was definitely ready. I was at a checkout stage of buying some marathon shoes, like some running shoes. I would have bought any running shoes if someone said, these are the best in the market right now. If you're running the London Marathon, buy these. I would have bought them straight away. Whereas if it was for a physio, for example, they could have easily advertised on a keyword like marathon training plans and said to me, hey, look, did you know, this could be the video that interrupted me. They could have said, hey, did you know that the number one thing stopping people from running the marathon, even with all their training, is lower back pain? And let me show you 3 exercises that are going to help you stretch out before you do any running, for example. And at the end of that, it could have easily been like, hey, look, but if you ever do get any injury, give us a call. Here's our numbers, here's our details, sign up for a marathon training plan on our website or something like that. And the physio, I would have definitely signed up for that. I wouldn't have necessarily bought straight away, but I would have been definitely interested. And then like the hotels could have said, hey, look, we're doing a marathon special. So the night before, come and stay with us. We are putting on a marathon feast the night before, so you eat the right stuff, so you're full of energy the next day. And we also do massages straight after the marathon at the hotel. Anything like that would have been an easy thing for me to purchase, and they would have got my money straight away. But as a result, I had to go and do loads of research. But that's the thing; these companies are missing these opportunities. And so if we can think about where our customers are going and what they're up to, then you can tap into those moments and give them a really good message that really resonates with them. And that's what we do, really. That's the whole agency approach, really.
I love it. And the biggest thing that, I see this in all great marketers is understanding the person's situation, right? We buy because of the situation we're in. And we don't buy, and the fact that, all those 3 different buyer personas that you talked about could be one person at different times, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And additionally too, I mean, after the marathon, that physio can be like, is your back still hurting?
Yeah, exactly.
What to do after your feet hurt at the marathon? Yeah, I mean, then it's just a whole conversation to be had. So how do you do this for your clients? How do you figure that out? What's your process for doing that?
So the first wave of activity is to we actually think about, like, there's normally like a big idea that the client will have, that is saying like, okay, here's what I want to do. And it might be, I want to make sure that, let's say, for example, they're running a webinar or they're selling a book. There's going to be a topic around that webinar or that book, for example. And they say, here's what it is. This is what we talk about. And I want to get in front of people that would be interested in this topic. So we start there and say, okay, well, brilliant. If people are thinking about this type of thing, what would they be up to? What typically sends them that way? Now, most of the time, there's going to be a pretty obvious like starting point where we say, right, if people are searching for this content already, great. That's like we just type in the keyword and make sure there's some search volume there, and that's normally a pretty easy starting place. So most of the clients we work with, there's going to be a normal, natural keyword that people type in to find that sort of kind of stuff. So there's normally some easy wins there. Like if I was running a marathon, for example, as we talked about earlier, then Nike, for example, would know if someone types in marathon training plans, that's still a good time to advertise to me. And what we do is we create one video, but has all those 3 messages that need to resonate with the different types of customer. So it's kind of hacking this approach of advertising, really. We create one video that taps into a bit of attention to begin with to grab the window shoppers. Then it'll go into a bit of advice. And so it's like the 3 A's. So we go, attention, like that's the way that we create the video to begin with. Like start with something like, hey, did you know that? And then you would like grab their attention by kind of like talking a little bit about the topic they may be interested in. Then we'll give really good advice. Now, in the videos we create, we won't just say, hey, we've got the greatest thing ever and we're so great and we're amazing. We demonstrate our value by actually giving the value. So we'll say, here's 3 things you can do to improve your marathon running, for example, or whatever it is that people might have. Now, it might be a case study. If it's a product, you might demo the product and tell people why it's so good, for example, and the things that it can do. And you're trying to give really good advice, even like stuff that would mean that people kind of could even leave the video and know they're better for it. They're kind of like they've got some really good value from the video. Because the other thing is we can always get them through remarketing. If they leave the video and we're giving a good experience, we'll tap them up with some remarketing there. But we also want to make that first impression that we have with them so powerful that they think this is like some of the best stuff I've seen, and it's so good that even if I did leave, you've left a really positive impression in their mind. And then the final thing we do is we make sure that we have a really clear action. So we say, like a call to action, like here's exactly what you need to do next to take advantage, but make sure it's a really relevant offer as well. A lot of the time we promote clients and we know the audience wants something, but they're trying to sell something else. And we often say to them, okay, look, we can sell what you've got, but we might need to have something before that. Get them to know, like, and trust you, and then sell them what they need later, but sell them what they want there at that moment in time. And that's the most important thing, really. So we create this one video, starts with a bit of attention, goes into really good advice, followed by a really strong call to action. And we follow that formula for pretty much every client. We throw in some credibility, of course. We try and make it a bit kind of like engaging in different ways and tell a really good story. And Ian, I'm sure that listeners have listened to you and know how to do that. And we put that together. But the magic is that we know then that from that video, if we're getting in front of window shoppers, we show them the whole video. If we're getting in front of an audience that are already searching for what it is we have, we kind of take that first attention section of the video off and we just start with let me show you 3 things that are going to be really helpful for you to run a marathon. And so that will be the starting point of the video. So it's just like we've taken the first maybe 30 seconds of the video off the video and start with content and run that to the in-store customer audience. And then if we're getting in front of like a really warm, hot traffic that already know who we are, we don't even include the advice sometimes. We just start with, hey, the webinar starts this evening. Go and check it out. It's going to be full of really good content. Click here and go and register your place for the webinar tonight, or go and grab the book, or whatever the offer might be. And we just start with that action then. But we only normally run that sort of video to a really warm audience that have yet to sign up. And it means that we just say to the client, go and film this one video, but it really means that we can create 3 videos out of it. And it gives us enough to start the advertising process, because the first time you advertise, the first day is going to be horrible, the stats are going to look horrible, but after a couple of days you can then say, okay, well we've seen some good results here, let's ramp up in those areas and let's turn off the bits that didn't work. And in the vast majority of cases, if you've created a good video that people are engaging with and you are targeting your audience in an intelligent way, then you should see really good results. But the great thing is it's all tracked. All the data is there for you. AdWords are very good at that. So you can see where the problem lies. If you're getting loads of views, loads of engagement, loads of clicks back to the website and no one's signing up, then of course the offer might be wrong. It's an obvious, you can obviously see like where there's drop off sometimes. Or if no one's engaging with the video and no one likes it, but your targeting is really strong, then you're going to find that like, okay, well the video is just not good enough. We need to replace that video. And we've had that before. We know with clients, we've taken a slightly different creative angle that's just not worked. And so we go back to the basics and we say, okay, well, what do your customers really want again? Let's create a video that really resonates with that. And very quickly we find that like, okay, yeah, it was the first video we created, didn't nail it. And now we've got a good video and it's working incredibly well. So it's kind of just understanding that you're not going to get it right first time round. We never get it perfect first time round, but get started, see where the data lies, and then say, right, great, we can build from here. And that's normally the best approach to take.
So for those of you listening, this sounds familiar because we've talked about the strategy first formula. Tom and I have not talked about this ahead of time, but you can see that's where you start, right? We haven't talked tactic at all. You haven't talked a specific part of YouTube, that one YouTube hack. it starts a strategy, because that way when it stops working, you can go back and look at the strategy, right?
Precisely, yeah. I mean, YouTube really help out, right? So the whole ecosystem of YouTube is so useful for everybody. So if you think about it, you've got the person that's created the video that you might want to advertise in front of. That's kind of one person. You've got YouTube as another entity. You've got yourself who wants to advertise, and you've also got the person that's viewing the videos. There's 4 people there, and YouTube have built it in such a way where everyone benefits. So as an advertiser, I advertise, and when I spend my money, YouTube will take 55% of my money. The person that created the video that I'm advertising on their video, they take 45% of my money. So they get a good deal as well. So that's how these people that are YouTubers make a lot of money. And as the advertiser, they've set it up in such a way where I only pay when when a viewer watches past 30 seconds of the video that I've created. So if someone like presses skip ad button before 30 seconds is up, I won't pay a penny. It's beautiful. So it means it's very easy for me to only pay for people that engage with my video. And the great thing about this is that AdWords also tracks how people are engaging with my video. So if no one's watching my video, or if loads of people leave my video before 30 seconds is up, then YouTube will see that and think, well, not many people are liking your video, so they'll stop it from showing in lots of areas, and it'll cost me a lot more money. So for the person that's on YouTube watching videos, they're not going to see bad videos for a long time, because they'll just kind of get too expensive to run. So the content creator's making money, YouTube are making money, the user's getting a good experience, and as an advertiser, I only pay when people engage with my videos. It's everyone wins from the whole ecosystem there. And unlike somewhere like Facebook, where it's like all your money goes straight to Facebook, and then your like the profile that you've built is just being hijacked by ads all the time. It's like it's not a great ecosystem there. Whereas with YouTube, it is. Obviously, I would say that because I'm a YouTube ads like aficionado, but that's because I love it. But I just see it like this. I see it like the platform of YouTube is here to stay for a long time, but it's not as easy to crack straight away than somewhere like Facebook. But there's a beauty in that in terms of if you master it, not many people are going to master it, and it's not that difficult to master it. You just need to think, as you quite rightly say, strategy first, and then know the system's there to help you. And it's a great place to be.
So I'm excited because I want to stop right now and go make YouTube ads. But
do you know, how many times I do podcasts and like the person I'm speaking to is like, right, okay, let's stop this. I need to go and create some YouTube ads.
So you're doing a great job because two things. First of all, I don't know if you saw yesterday, but Facebook, there was a report that Facebook's going to go the YouTube model and split the ads with the video creators. So
that's good. Okay.
Yeah. But that'll date this podcast a little bit because we'll see what happens with that, because it's still an intention versus attention, and how effective that'll be. But obviously, all the listeners can't hire you, so they have smaller budgets, whatever. But you have a resource out there that I think is really cool. Can you tell us about that and that story of success? Because I think it's awesome, because everyone's like, well, my business isn't for it, but it's not your typical business, right? And that you're talking about in here. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it must be about a year ago now, I wanted to document down what we do. And really the way I wanted to start this was for my internal team to be able to see how we do things, and like a live demonstration with a client. I thought this would be really good if I build it out so my team could watch it and replicate the success each time, so to speak. So what I did is I went out to the studio. We had like a 5-camera setup, and we had like like a person that was like interviewing me as well, and then we also had a business owner. So there's 3 of us sitting in the studio, and from start to finish across one day, we do everything. So we talk about the strategy. We think about kind of like a bit of keyword research, where we want to show the ads, and kind of like go through that process so it'd be easy for any business, because I wanted my team to know how to do it for any type of business that comes on board. And we sat there, and I didn't touch anything, because I thought if I touch the computer, then people will think, oh, it's me that's done my magic or whatever it is. So I said, I'm not allowed to touch the computer all day. And Anthony, the guy who sat there, who's a business owner who sold kites, I said to him, look, you are the person that has to do everything. So if there's any questions you have, or you don't know where to click, I can point where to click, but you have to do the actions. So we set it all up, and he set up his YouTube account, he set up his AdWords account, linked it all up, everything was recorded. And we had created a video, so we showed how we created the video. And then he started running his ads. And I didn't actually know, so all I was interested in is like getting it set up properly so my team could do it. And he called me about a week later and said, hey, look, these YouTube ads work right, don't they? I was like, well, I hope they're working well. Yeah, that's the whole idea. And so 3 weeks later, he did this testimonial for us. And it was like 21 days in. And for every dollar he spent on his YouTube ads, he was getting $6 back from sales. And he was selling kites. So he was going after like a dads who are interested in like outdoor activities and might be going on a holiday soon. And we did some clever targeting there so we can get in front of exactly the right sort of customer. And so he ran these ads, and he was blown away. And I was pretty blown away by the results because I wasn't expecting it either. So every dollar he spends, he gets $6 back. And it's beautiful because it's all documented, it's all in there. And so my intention was to not really sell it as a product. I just wanted to have it as the internal team. And then I thought, you know what? It's the product's created. I know all my clients do incredibly well from the promotions that we do with them. So I decided to just release. I put it all up on like a platform called Teachable, and so it's really easy to go through it all and follow along, and it's all documented easily in there. And there's some software tools that I've added in there as well. So if people want to get it, they just need to go to it's viewability.co.uk, and there's a tab there that's kind of like got training on it. So we've actually just recently done a website recreation, redesign sort of thing. But very soon you'll see the tab in there because it is in there. And you can look around, but it's called the YouTube Ads Workshop. It's $200 right now. I don't know if it's going to change in price or anything, but that's what it is selling at right now. And it's we've done lots of people buy it, which is great, and lots of people get great results. But didn't start off with this like product of like, hey, I want to make this good for everybody. It was like purely my team. And but it's very easy to go through it and get the results. So if anyone's
awesome.
Do it, it's good.
That is fantastic, and I tell this to people all the time because they're like, well, $200, or I'm like, listen, if I told you that next year Apple was going to go up, the Apple stock was going to go up 20%, 30%, you'd be like, oh, let me get all my money for my family and put it in there. And you're talking about a 6-to-1. If I told you Apple was going to be 6 times what it was worth, you'd be like, yeah, you're crazy. So for $200, even if you get a third of the results of this guy, you're getting a huge return on investment. That's amazing. That's so cool. I'm excited to watch it. And I know because of who you work with, I've talked to other people that it works for them. It works across markets. And YouTube, one thing we didn't talk about, and I tell people all the time, it's the second most used search engine out there, right?
Yeah.
And even if you get in front of someone for 15 seconds with your face in your product, you don't pay for it, and you get in front of someone for 15 seconds.
Yeah. The most powerful thing of all of this that we haven't really talked about, and of course, there's a huge opportunity with the number of views and the biggest search, or the second biggest search engine, and you can also get your YouTube ads, not your YouTube ads, but your YouTube videos, like on a Google search. So you can actually get your videos on the biggest platform as well. But the biggest thing of all about this, in my opinion, is the fact that when you show a video, a good quality video that's full of, not necessarily shot really well, but more a case like the content's really strong, and you get that in front of your customers, the image and so you've got the visuals, you've got the auditory, they can hear what you're saying, and you've got the actual content of it as well. They're getting such an experience, and they're also in that search mentality, so they're already looking for stuff. If you give a really good experience, they're not going to forget you. There's a study done by a guy called David Rubin quite a while back in the 80s. But before his study, everyone believed that, or the psychological kind of society, I suppose, used to think that your brain worked rather like files in a filing cabinet. So you get a memory, it goes into a file or folder, into the filing cabinet, and every time you want to remember it, it's like you're bringing it back out again mentally. And he said, look, it's not like that at all, because if you think about a memory, think of the first line of the word, or the first line of Hey Jude by the Beatles. You hear it, then you hear Paul McCartney's voice, and you might remember something that you went through when you first heard that song. Or if you think about the taste of a watermelon, you don't just think about the taste, you think about what you see. You see the green rind, the red fruit. And all these memories are actually kind of like connected with each other. And he said, like, all of our memories are like this, and the more when we kind of like speak or when we communicate with someone, the more different memory structures, so like not just your visuals but your auditory, your feelings and what you learn, etc., the more time you have with someone, it's like the more hooks and loops you're putting in their brain. It works like Velcro, almost. Like a video can be like Velcro in a way that if your message is really strong and you've got really good visuals, people just don't forget you on your video. Even if they leave, they'll see it a week later and they'll be like, oh my God, yeah, it's that guy again. I remember he gave me really good experience about learning how to do this. I'll never forget that person. And that's what's so strong. If you showed an image ad, they'll forget it. If you show a text ad, they'll forget it. If you show a video ad, I mean, we can all remember like childhood adverts when we saw them on TV, and we can probably even remember the jingles and the visuals and what it all looked like, because we're suckered into it, right? Because like that's exactly how our brains remember things, like visually. Mm-hmm. And when you get a good video in front of your audience, they don't forget you. They remember you for a positive reason if your video is good. And the branding of that is just so powerful for so many years to come. So for me, yes, the ROI of running YouTube ads is really exciting, but it's also about your users having a really good experience with you and remembering that and not forgetting you ever.
Yeah, and to your point too, there's some recent studies done too that, if the video connects with a person enough and you have that connection part of the video up front and you drive that empathy, it actually, this one study, and Paul Zak is actually the guy who did the study, is going to be on the podcast in a few episodes, that we drive up oxytocin levels through video. It increases empathy, and the increased empathy increases someone's likelihood not only to pay attention to but buy from you. So it's crazy.
There's a lot of studies out there about like heightened states, and when you have a heightened state of some sort, your memory records a lot quicker and it remembers things. It's like light bulb memories. It's like if you have something that really shocks you and kind of like is a big bit of news or anything like that, like, don't want to mention it too much, but like 9/11, for example, everyone remembers where they were, what they were doing, to the point where you know what clothes you're wearing, who you're with, what everyone said, because your mind is in such a shocked moment that it records everything because it's like a survival thing. And it's the same thing to a certain extent with video. If you have a really good connection, it's different to what they're expecting, and most people don't expect really good video ads. So as soon as you have a really good video ad on YouTube in front of your customer and they're already searching for it, that's where you get embedded so deeply. And it's exactly what you're talking about there. The oxytocin, like the stronger feelings of empathy, it's like it gets recorded and it doesn't get forgotten. And that's kind of how the brain works. And that's kind of getting a bit geeky, but that's kind of like why video, I think, is so powerful.
I love this stuff. Well, and I mean, this podcast I intend for people that are really serious about marketing. So I think knowing the psychology is such an important part of it because it improves your arsenal. And it's so cool that you have that amazing background because you have such skills. You're not some guy that just learned a few YouTube hacks and put it out there. There's so much going into it. I love it. Tom, we were going to do some more stories and stuff, but running out of time, what, besides after strategy, what's the number one tactic that you're using right now to make YouTube ads really work for people?
I think in terms of getting started with any YouTube advertising, I think we've already talked about how to create the video. And I think that's an important part of it. Give good value, given a good experience with the user. Start with the user in mind first and think, what video would wow you if you were the customer, sort of thing. So starting there. Once you've created that video ad, there's a type of strategy that I actually teach in the workshop that is like an in-stream ad. So it's like the pre-roll ad that begins. But the targeting that you can do with this one technique means it's so granular that you've got complete control. And what it is like, so it's targeting what's called placements. There's loads of different targeting options available to you, but placements is one that is just a no-brainer. And what it is like you can literally say on YouTube, I want to advertise in front of that video. So if your competitor's releasing videos and you can show ads in front of them, and in the vast majority of cases you can, or if there's a topic out there with videos about that topic that are exactly what you want to be getting in front of, if your customers are looking for exactly videos that you would think, if they're looking at this stuff, it's going to be perfect for my message. You can choose those videos, like the URLs of the videos that you want to advertise in front of, add them as placements, and then your ads will show in front of that video. And it means that you just get in front of exactly the right audience. But because it's so granular, you can literally pause the videos that aren't working for you and spend more money on the videos that are working for you, to the point where you're like, great, this is working incredibly well for me. And that's it's one of those campaigns that we build every single time with a client. And because we just know it works really well in terms of return on investment. It's like the one that just, like, you pay exactly the right sort of money, you pay on exactly the videos you want to advertise in front of, and it's the easiest place to get started with lower spend and making sure that you have a good reach as well. So it just gets you started. It proves to you that YouTube ads can work for your business. And then you're like, great, you get some proof of concept. Then you can go and experiment with the profits you've made with other targeting options. But that's kind of like where I would recommend people start. Is like, start with those placements, advertise with your pre-roll ad, and you should see really good results very quickly.
Awesome. That's so exciting. So viewability.co.uk. If you click on the show notes, you'll be able to get to the link. Tom, you have to come back, because obviously we both talk video, we both geek out, and I'm sure you have new stuff next time. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course, I've loved it. I'm definitely back for sure.
Awesome. And thank you all for listening to Tom and I geek out about video marketing and psychology and oxytocin. This is Iron Garlic, and make sure to check out Tom's course, start using it, and let us know how it works for you. Let Tom and I know. And we're there to help. We're all here to help. Go to my Facebook page, let him know how it's working for you, and we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks again, Tom.
Cheers.
Okay, so hopefully you found that episode really powerful, and you can start to see how you would create winning YouTube ad campaigns for your business. Now, this is the point where I ask you for your comments, and I know it's not always easy to leave comments, but please do. Anything positive, anything negative, any feedback that you might have, any questions you might have, please look below, leave the comments, and myself and the team will come back to you and hopefully be able to help you out even further, and hopefully not throw a load of things off the table as well as I do these videos. But please do look below and leave your comments, because I'm trying to build a channel that's really powerful for you. The whole idea of this channel is to create something so powerful for you, so you actually see these kind of like notifications when we release a new video that you actually go and want to go and see. So make sure you kind of keep an eye out on your notifications, but I want to make sure that you actually want to go and do that. So let me build a better channel for you. So leave your feedback, I'll find it really valuable, and should be able to create a better channel for you as we grow this channel as well to hopefully that 1 million subscribers, which seems very daunting indeed. So yes, that will be the case. And also, if you haven't done so yet already and you like this content, you want to get more just like it, make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll speaking to you or giving you new videos very soon indeed. Thanks.